Faruk Adeja joins us now. He's a Public Affairs Analyst. Good morning and thanks for joining us.
Good morning, sir.
You're from Kogi State, and tell us how this election went.
Well, thank you very much, sir. I'll be a little bit circumspect in trying to describe the elections in detail right now. Number one, I have to give a caveat. I'm a member of the PDP. We didn't consider that election satisfactory in the first place. But because somebody has died now, if you begin to give details about our objections to that election, it will appear as if we're attacking a dead man. So I'd like to reserve a lot of comment, but I can assure you that that election was neither free nor was it fair. Completely militarized. Completely. And you also agree, they told you, they announced that they were going to bring 16,000 policemen to come and do what? How many do you have in Borno? How many do you have in Yobe? We're going into an election, we're not going into a war. And what you heard was that, look, if you go and check right now, most of those 91 polling units they're talking about, those are PDP strongholds, where they know that we're likely to win. Their talks will come, backed by police most times. I'll give you several examples, including in my place. In my own ward. There was a place that some people went to print ballot papers and they were going to dump in the ballot box. And the councillor from my ward, his name is Collins Onogu, now objected. Before you knew, the APC guy called the police, led by one Akindele Rafiu. I think he has an ego address, I think maybe Assistant Commissioner of Police. And they were there in minutes. They grabbed the guy away from there. And the APC people succeeded in dumping the ballot papers there. But like I said, I don't want to go into the details about what went wrong with the election.
There's a weighty allegations.
Yes, I've called the name of the policeman for you.
You have facts, because now that you're putting...
I have facts. It's very simple now. Let them go and pick the votes from Okegwi polling units, Ward 3, and pass it through their scanner. And see whether they are not... there are no ballot papers that were completed repeatedly by
Just a moment, Mr. Faruk. In this day where the social media, people are very active on social media and all of that, it's rather curious. You say people actually came to dump printed ballot papers into the boxes, with armed men, military men, and all of that. And we're just hearing about this now. How do you explain that?
Well, like I told you, I said I didn't want to talk about what went wrong with the election. Because before we could get prepared to start screaming that no, this election was, you discover that even His Excellency, the governor, did say that he had problems with the election, that the reports he was getting about the election was disturbing. He was quoted as saying that on the media. But before we could get prepared to start screaming, the man died.
Was this before people came out to vote, or did it happen
as the voting was going on?
As the voting was going on.
Yes, in my ward there were over a ward that possibly maybe about 3 kilometers square. There were about 3 detachment of policemen stationed there.
And none of this could be captured by smartphones, and the elections were actually said to be violent-free.
Well, maybe you may not know how rural some places are. It's possible somebody captured it with smartphone, but I'm not aware of that now. But I think we should progress from that. If I want to start talking about the election now, the other issues that are very, very germane at the moment.
What are the issues that you feel are germane at the moment?
The death of the APC candidate before the declaration of results.
What does that portend?
The very curious death of Abubakar Audu. And it's so surprising, so shocking that nobody is asking questions. Let me tell you, before you contest an election, one of the qualifications you must have is that of good health. Good health. Abubakar Audu is not known to be a sick man. Nobody has ever said this man was admitted or this or that or that or that or that. Then on the day he won election, in the day he was supposed to have won elections, the man drops dead. I'll tell you something. Information available to us was that this man died at about 4:30 a.m. in the morning. 4:30 a.m. in the morning. The APC kept the information and was waiting for INEC to declare results so that Faleke would benefit from the election. Why did that happen? And you know, because, I mean, Muslims, the moment you die, the next thing is that you are buried. Nobody investigates death. That death was very curious. Why were they hiding the information? And they came, they were shameless to come and tell Nigerians that the man died by 3 p.m. Abubakar Audu didn't die by 3 p.m. He died around 4:30 a.m.
You just said here that you're a member of the PDP.
Yes.
But how is it a burden to you? How is it a problem to you?
Why is it a problem to me?
Yes.
Number one, the second executive governor of my state. Number two, even in my own community that I'm talking about, Abubakar Audu is almost like a deity there. I'm a local government chairman. Although I was out of office, I resumed yesterday again. I was out of office for 1 year. I resumed yesterday again.
Oh, you just came back as local government chairman yesterday?
Yes, we were returned after we won from court. The court dissolved us illegally, and the Court of Appeal ruled that we should go back. And His Excellency obeyed and took us back. Okay? But in the community I come from, if you see my activities online, almost everybody from my community attacks me because I'm PDP. They want me to support Abubakar Audu. Okay? So this man is almost like a deity in my place. And apart from that, he's a leader of my ethnic group. I mean, politics aside, I was online to even apologize for my attacks on him after he died. Then this man dies so curiously, so cheaply. Nobody talks about his death. While we're waiting to mourn, the next thing, they started activating a plan that Faleke should come and take his votes.
No, but hold on a minute, because when you talk about activating of a plan, we'll be looking at the books, the Constitution,
Yes.
looking at the Electoral Act,
Yes.
because the process was incomplete and it must be completed. Surely the political parties or party of that is the APC here should also be thinking of how to fill the candidate or how best to go ahead with the plan. So it is for INEC, so it is for the APC, and I think your party, the PDP, should also be concerned about completing the process of this particular election.
Okay, thank you very much. Number one, we agree elections and almost all affairs of human beings are governed by laws. But I'm here to see two lawyers who have taken a common position on this issue. So we have to go beyond the law. Let's use logic first. There was an election. And as I'm telling you, like I told you, and I challenged them to deny it. Abubakar Audu died around 4:30 a.m. I challenged the APC to deny that. The result was kept. I mean, they were waiting for the result to be announced. Then after the result was announced inconclusive, they now admitted that he had died. Okay? Now they are saying Electoral Act. The Electoral Act, I don't know, I'm not a lawyer, but at least I listen to lawyers. There's nowhere the Electoral Act says that the running mate should succeed. I mean, the running mate should succeed a candidate. Yes, I know about a deputy-elect succeeding governor, and the Electoral Act also talks about substituting a candidate.
Is the PDP afraid of the running mate of the APC?
How can we be afraid of the running mate of the APC? What we're saying is simple. That's why I told you that the death of Abubakar was curious. You don't use Abubakar Audu to go and obtain votes for somebody else to come and carry. Those votes, from what we are told by lawyers, are his properties.
Is that the thinking of people from your state?
Yes, that is my thinking.
Okay, your thinking.
Yes, and that is the thinking of so many people. That somebody obtains votes, and you now say, okay, the votes should be transferred. Either Faleke should succeed, or they should go and bring another person.